Yeah, yeah. What they saying? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to the H.G.R.G podcast. We're here with another episode. What's going on, DT? Just Jerry.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hey, we got a special guest building.
Yo, before we start the special guest,
ask him, Jerry. Ask him.
Lance, ask Dennis if he's still with us.
I'm with y'all.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that.
Dennis was good.
Yeah.
Speaking about DT was good. Lance was good. Jesse, Jerry.
What's going on?
Goody, man.
Speaking of Dennis, just want to give a little background why he's here. We had a little debate or whatnot not too long ago about certain investments and whatnot, and timeshares happened to come up. Dennis here owns a timeshare. He's owned one for many years at this point. And he is going to give us a little more insight because we don't own any. You know, obviously it's a real estate podcast. We're going to give you guys nothing but real estate, the pros and the cons. I know when we did speak about it, we had a lot of cons, but it's only right that we bring somebody that's actually in it, that's in the mud with that type of investment. And then maybe they can give you the pros as well and the cons as well. And then we'll definitely piggyback on it and we'll go back and forth. So Dennis, thank you. We appreciate you coming out, man. Thank you for spending some time on us tonight.
I'm honored to be on board with you guys.
You still don't know about real estate? You don't know whether to jump in. You don't know if you ain't got the right mindset. You don't know if it's the right time. H.G.R.G got you. We just dropped the ebook. Go check it out. It's in the description below.
Privilege.
I love it. First question is when you're gonna replace Lance? No, I'm sorry.
You know what, Jerry? I'm glad you said that because Lance said Dennis is not here to talk about timeshares, but we ain't tell Lance that Dennis is interviewing for a position.
Sorry, Lance. Taking over.
I hear you.
Jerry got your pink flip. He's about to email it to you.
That's what he about to get. Nigga, Lance, go ahead, man. My fault.
No, it's all right. We was trying to fire me, bro. It's all good. It's all good. So
I think you've been fired about 30 times. But go ahead.
So Dennis, you own a timeshare. For the people that don't know what a timeshare is, can you explain what a timeshare is? I know there's different types of timeshares, but what timeshare are you in? Can you explain that?
All right. I currently have been a member of Club Wyndham since 2019. So the plan that I have is pretty much like a point system. You purchase points annually. In my case, I have 165,000 points. Reason why I chose that catalog, one was it was within my budget, and two, with my career, I'm not as flexible as I would love to be. So I only chose the package that suited my lifestyle. So I can go on weekend getaways, or I can take a full week, depending on which site I decide to choose. Where most timeshares, you're stuck and succumb to just one area. The package I got gives me multiple destinations. I have about 246, give or take, destinations nationally. And their sister company, RCI, has the global packages. Now, that's a separate conversation because it's like a cost plus situation where you're pretty much paying for the week and then using your points to dedicating the points that you have for that week to book and open up those points for usage with the sister company. It's okay. I haven't exercised it myself, but they also will reach out to you if you have points that you rolled over and say, hey, we would like to buy your points from you. But of course, there's a catch. You have to pay for the week. Then they'll buy your points. depending on who wants to use them, and then pay you off long term. So
When
aside
you
from
say
that,
when you say pay you off long term, is it cash? Is it what do they pay you
yeah,
off with?
it'll be cash. They'll cut you a check. So
Okay.
for example, like say I'm sitting on 2 weeks worth of points, right? And you want to go to Australia, right? And
Hold on,
it's
let me cut you off. What's 2 weeks worth of points numerically?
it depends on the location. So it varies, it fluctuates.
Okay.
So like for example, I went to San Antonio, Texas for about 5 days, and it only cost me about 55,000 points, give or take. So
Okay.
I had about 100 and something remaining.
Okay.
It's all depends on peak and off peak and things of that nature as well. So you just have to pay attention when when's travel season and what suits you best. And destinations are beyond that. Those are pros. You have the luxury of choice. You
Mhm.
can go pretty much anywhere. Part of my package, I can also, for example, if you guys want to go vacation somewhere and the cost of the hotel is like $600 a night, if I have a Wyndham location near there or on that resort, then you could just call me, hey Dennis, can I use your points? Cool, no problem. I got you. I just have to call up and put you on the guest list, and you can utilize my points for that time that you want to book, especially if on the years that I'm not going to use it. It works in my favor because rather you spend $600-700 per night, you can say, hey Dennis, I'll just throw you 1,000. Cool, no problem. Small ROI, I pay off for the month. I'm not going to use the points anyway. Rather than roll them over and not use them in RCI, it works out in my favor. So there's pros and cons to it as well. If you're not using it, you're losing money because you have to
So hold
monthly
on. So we
payment.
get to the pros and cons. Let me slow you down a little bit. So basically, what you have is a package that you can go to multiple destinations, right? You said about 246 or something like that, right?
Yes,
Then also on top of that, you get it's a point system, it's a package system, and you can also use it globally as well. Correct?
correct.
Okay, so this is around the globe. This is in the United States.
No,
Globally,
It's within their
with an
catalog.
globally with
sister.
an added cost.
Yeah,
Correct.
globally is
Oh,
sister.
globally,
Sister.
but the option's still there, but it's an added cost.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
I got like 1,000 questions.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get
Hold
out.
on. Wait before I let
Me too.
the bulls go. You know what I'm saying? Before I let the bulls go,
Yeah.
let me explain to the H.G.R.G. Audience here, and about his timeshare, and make sure we're on the same page with Dennis here. So once again, you could also use those points as long as you put for someone else, as long as you put them on a guest list, right? And those points would be used. You can benefit by charging the guests less than what they would for a hotel and whatnot. So you make small ROI, and and obviously wherever the rest of that money goes, I guess you pay for it. Let me ask this: is this bill? Is it monthly that you pay for it? Is it
Correct.
annually? What is
It's
that?
monthly.
So it is monthly. So
Correct.
it's a month.
We're not gonna give the audience numbers because we can
Yeah.
we can, but I'm gonna say what's the average from 400 to 600, 700 to 800.
Depending on the package you choose and points you want to incur per year.
This is where I want to try to interject because I want to paint this picture like from walk somebody down the street, right? So we start, hey Dennis, how you doing? I'm Daniel. You're Dennis. Okay, this is my situation. This is what happened. Oh, my first question would be, how did you even hear about that? My second question would be, oh, what made you sign up? My third question was, once you signed up, what did you do with it? And then how was your experience? And then now looking back, the 30,000-foot view, would you do something different? Or are you looking to maybe capitalize on that or expound on that, make something, you know what I mean? So
All
let's
right, so
let's start there. Let's start there.
let's
No,
start there.
I know I did a lot, but I'm gonna start with
Give
how
them
did
a whole
you hear
story
about,
to fucking write, man.
because I want to make sure that we we walk this thing,
I got mad questions. You cut me
memoir
off.
of timeshare.
because I'm sure when he answers most of that, like a lot of our questions will be answered, right?
No,
Absolutely.
More.
I got
There'll be
more.
more. Absolutely.
got
Knowing
more.
these guys,
Or
a lot more.
there'll be more questions.
How did
Go
you
ahead, I'm sorry.
how did you first hear how did you get introduced to a timeshare?
All right, so I was on my honeymoon, traveling in North Carolina and Myrtle Beach, and they had a little, you know, the little setup. They kind of like bait you.
As soon
Hey,
as,
we'll
as soon
give
as you
you
walk in,
vouchers. Yeah, as soon as you walk in,
as you
like,
walk in.
yeah, they're savages.
Just sit down with us for like 15 minutes. It won't be long.
Oh yeah, so
15 minutes.
about that, I'll get to that too. So it's not 15 minutes, it's not an hour. Just erase the entire day. That's part of the cons. We could get to
That's
that
a
later.
fact.
Erase your whole day.
And my
Erase the
man,
entire day. Your itinerary gone.
and my man on his honeymoon, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. They don't even talk to you. They talk to your wife.
Well, they first they see who more or less
Runs
is
the show.
more
Interesting.
entertained and
Who's the
more
target?
attracted
Okay,
to the
okay.
presentation.
Yeah,
Where I'm like looking at my watch, you know, they're also saying catchy things where I'm also like, wait, this might be a good idea.
got you.
Okay,
So
so let's get into that.
it was
So
more
they
of a
set up-
gift. Like that was a honeymoon gift to the wife, you know,
Mhm.
like, hey, this is something that we could utilize long term. I have, you know, my children are in different states, so it benefits me. Because I'll have a place to go wherever I'm at. If I want to take them on vacation, I have options. But besides that, it was pretty much a honeymoon gift. We pretty much were approached by an ambassador who was selling a package, and they said, hey, would you like to sit down, you know, for an hour? It's just a presentation, and we'll give you vouchers. Pretty much like 3 vouchers. I forgot what one was, like a helicopter ride around Myrtle Beach. The second one was free passes into the Believe It or Not museum, and the third I forgot. I
So
don't
you're
even think we
saying,
even.
so you sold your soul for 3? No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I actually did. Yeah. For a helicopter
No.
ride.
Yeah, Jerry. See,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Lance started with the big guns. Now you coming out with nuclear bombs over here, man. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do
Well,
that.
now we know who's opposed. I'm gonna get all the opposition questions from this guy here.
You already know my type of energy, V. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So it was you know, you sold your soul for 3 excursions, right? And then you decide to get it. What was like the final factor in that
All
conversation?
right.
That made you
So
like, we gotta do
part of it was, you know, I can, once it's paid off in full, all I would have is a maintenance fee. That maintenance fee is very minimum. It does increase because of course the cost of living, everything else, inflation, repairs, etc. It does increase, but it's not harmful. So once it's paid off in full, now I can, you know, my children are beneficiaries. So if I pass away, they can inherit it, they can sell it off prior to, etc. They're stuck with it. You know, they have the, if I gift it to them, you know, there's so many options there where I'm like, okay, cool, they can travel, they can utilize it. The beauty of it, what sold me was what the prices were today. It doesn't matter 20 years from now, it'll still remain at those prices. So where the average hotel will increase, say $100 a night, $160 a night, whatever points it was for that time that I purchased based on the catalog, it remains there. So if I want to book again for Myrtle Beach, it'll be the same amount of points that I utilized when that current catalog was there. So it's like grandfathered in. That was one of the pluses. So I'm like, okay, great. Hotel rates will continue increasing, but the point system won't. So I benefit there. That's a good ROI. The resort has beautiful features. I was in Margaritaville, part of Wyndham. I benefited from all those perks as well. What would be another pro? It's the package I got is not that expensive. It could be a burden.
When you say maintenance, right? When everything is paid off, I would like that number. That has nothing to do with anything that's past when you paid it. What would be the maintenance for that conversation?
And you
5 years ago, I was
protect you.
paying.
Hold on 1 second. To protect, you know, your privacy.
Yeah.
So I would like you
Give me
to
an
say,
average.
depend on packaging, right? So you
Yeah.
know, there was a package that I could have invested in. There is, you know, there's a A or B and a C package. If you do A, is this, B is that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that.
so it's the good, better, best packages.
Right,
You know,
right.
the good packages you're looking at anywhere from say $300 to $500 a month. The better is like 5 to like 7. After that, sky's the limit. I know I've met people on the resorts that are lifetime members that got the platinum package and they have about 600,000 points per year, but they're traveling 4 or 5 months out of the year. You know, they're retired or, you know, they just are self-employed and just enjoying the fruitions of life. So again, it all depends on
The maintenance.
how it works for you.
I'm looking for the maintenance.
The maintenance is started off at, I want to say it
don't
was
have to get
about
specific.
$95. I'm at like $100 now a month.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's not that bad.
So
Say
$100 a
year.
month. $100 a month. It could increase to 120 a month after everything is paid.
Correct. So
I just want to let you know, Just Jerry has never taken notes when we've had a guest on here.
in his entire life.
And paper right now.
Hey, Lance.
I went to high school with Jerry. I've never seen him take notes.
Lance.
We got it over here, boy.
Oh
we
my
outside.
God, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We outside. We are outside. We are outside. We have a special guest. We giving him the respect, bro.
I need some Yelmo.
And I got the what is it? Every time I go to a hotel, I take the notepad and the pen. It's my ritual.
He stole
This one is
From the window.
Jardín de Eden. This is from
That's Dubai shit.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. So let me ask this: when do the monthly payments, like, say you're making your monthly payments, and that's what you decide what you're gonna do, right? How long is that term?
So I took the longer term, which is not the greater term, because of course there's interest rates and things of that nature, fees. So
Right.
I took the cheaper long term. So instead
Which
of
most people are going to take, to be honest. With
yeah.
Right.
Well, at that time, I did what aligned with my budget.
Right.
So you know, my cost was X amount of dollars, and I said, you know, I'll take the 10-year. I pay this off in 10 years. So I'm halfway through it with interest rate and all. Of course, I'm paying off the principal prior
So
to
it's
the actual.
So it's only 10 years.
Yeah, it's only 10 years.
Okay, so it's only 10 years. That's also a pro in my eyes. If you ask me,
Yeah.
Well, let's be clear. You know, the agreement is 10 years, but the maintenance is for life.
It's forever.
It's lifetime. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's forever. So, but the bigger chunk comes from.
It's like when you buy a piece of property and you have a 10-year mortgage, you pay it off. You have to pay taxes for the rest of your life, though.
Got to pay taxes for the rest of your life. You don't really own shit.
Yeah, you don't really.
No, you don't. You don't. That's just life for you.
It is what it is.
Okay, so we have that. It's a 10-year. It's 10 years. It could have been shorter. You know, depending on.
Question for you: my bad, Lance? Do the terms, the length of terms, change depending on the package you buy?
Yeah, if I want more points, and they will always call you. They'll cold call you. That's one of the cons too. Like you tell them, hey, I'm not interested. They're gonna call you again another 3 more times before you have to get a little show your teeth, so to say. Yo, I said I'm good.
Yeah.
But that's part. They're doing their job. You can't knock it. That's part of the
hustle.
Marketing, sales, marketing, etc. And they're always updating you as well with what's new, what new sites they actually inherited or they closed on a deal or merged with a partnership. They'll announce it. Their communication is actually phenomenal. And whenever there's a sale, they'll pitch it like, hey, you can visit Miami, for 20,000 points for the entire week. And you're like, wow, that's it. Good. But then you go to the flights and of course it's inflated on that end. So you pay for it somehow, some way.
I'm coming down with those questions, bro. I'm coming down with those questions. I just wanted to make sure you know that.
Please do. I see your pen. It's smoking.
One question I would like to have: when you say 246 location, is that in the 50 states? What does that mean by 240?
Correct.
So you have 246 locations
within the 50 states. Yes.
So that means if I want to go to Texas, I can't go to Barbados with you. I would have to pay an extra cost if you have a location in Barbados. Is that the conversation we're saying?
Correct, because that's RCI. Yeah. That's a separate entity. But there is the Virgin Islands. They do have like the Caribbean as well. Which islands? I can't really speak off the top of my head. However, there is the Caribbean. You have Mexico. You have Canada. You know, pretty much North American region for the most part.
So if you take a if, like, for example, Jerry said he wanted to go to Barbados, right? And you said, hey, we have a location in Barbados, but I'm not currently part of the RCI program. But if you're interested, I can see what it's gonna, cost me in points, and I'll tell you that. Does it work like that, or do you already
it still works out. Yeah.
In RCI,
not a whole nother package, a whole nother
no.
So you could kind of do RCI a la carte.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
But as long as I open up the week, so I would have to pay the fee for the week to open up the week and say, hey, I'm gonna have Jerry or DT or Lance stay that week there, and they'll take the points.
And that question will come right after that is what's the time frame that you have to let them know that we're coming? Do you have to do it a month ago, or you could call the day of, like, yo, he's coming today?
It depends if that week is available.
So
for example,
I'm gonna go down that route too as well.
So example, if it's say it's a 110 door hotel, and their occupancy rate is probably 60%. Now we have options. I probably have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, presidential suite, studio available, ocean view, land view, et cetera, and that all fluctuates on the points as well. Availability. You have to pay attention to the map. Pretty much, they'll show you a calendar with not prices but points, and you just click pretty much start end, and it'll populate that way.
So the first question would be, when you say peak season.
When you say the first question, every time you ask a question.
After he said
I just wanted to know, when does the first question become the second?
Never. He keeps speaking. So
he has them in different buckets.
When you say peak season, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Peak season, spring break, holiday season.
So what does that mean for you in the nature of you and your
availability and supply and demand? So of course, if it's available, the points may be higher than the off peak. It'll be off maybe 5,000 points, 10,000, 20. Sorry?
I thought the points didn't change. Like you said, you went to Myrtle Beach for this amount of points, right? If you want to go in peak season, it should be the same amount of points, no?
No.
Yes, but they have the 2 set points. So, for example, back to the conversation, if the peak season at that time 5 years ago was, say, $120,000, 120,000 points, that's what I'll be paying. Opposed to the off peak, well, it'll be, say, 75,000 points.
Gotcha.
So it depends on the time.
Got it.
And in the package that you have, how many times can you leave travel?
It all depends how many points I have.
So let's say a year, how many points do you get?
I do the 165,000 points.
165,000 points.
So for example,
can you roll points over into the next year?
Yes.
Is there a limit on that?
No.
Do points have an expiration?
Yes, 1 year. And then you could just extend them. That's an additional fee. It's like a cost plus.
Wait.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Do they roll over or do they not roll over?
They roll over for 1 full fiscal year. So, for example, if I don't use anything, so my fiscal year starts in September. So I get all my points. They repopulate every September. What I don't use, I roll over to the...
You didn't use anything. It's September again now.
So I roll it over into the RCI sister account bank. So that there I have about 400 and something thousand points already accumulated there, but they expire a year after. So I have to pay, I believe it was like 65 something with tax. I know it came out to like $7, $8 to extend it for another year. But I look at it like this. I pay a monthly fee. It'll be stupid if I don't reinvest it.
Right.
It's $70 opposed to 2 years worth of points that I already spent my monthly payment on. So that's also a con. If you don't use it, you kind of lose it long term.
When you say you have 450,000 points. How's that?
So initially, because it was our honeymoon, they threw us a bonus package. So we started off with about a little less than 500,000 points.
Okay.
They gave us the silver package for the full year. We only used that 1 year, maybe 30% of the points. So I rolled everything over. So initially I had about 300,000 points already
So,
off.
so you have to pay initial $78 every year to keep it.
No. That's during, so they give you pretty much a grace period, like a promotional period, like, hey, you're new, et cetera, et cetera. This is how it works. Year one, they extend it for free on. And then year three was, hey, you're gonna lose these points. What do you want to do? This is the fee to continue them. If not, you just lose it.
At the beginning of year 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then after year 3, you paid that fee, right?
Yeah, to extend it for another year.
Okay. Now after that year, what happens?
Same
You have
thing.
to pay another 50. You have to pay
I would
another
have to
78.
extend it again. So now in September this year, they'll call me again and say, hey, do you want to extend it? Because I don't see myself traveling to Australia or, Iceland or Egypt or wherever at this present moment.
For the beginning of your term, you have to put another $78. So that's your monthly bill plus $78. Is this correct?
That was to extend it, correct?
Every
But not
year.
initially.
No,
That
I'm talking about
came
now.
year 3.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
year 3. Now that you're past year 3, every year you have to put another $78 just to keep the points.
In September.
Give or take, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: have you found yourself utilizing this as much as you should, or
well, due to my career choices, I haven't been able to utilize them, but I've had sent my wife out there. So I'm not quite there yet. Almost there. Almost there. I'm like the mayor. But yeah, like, have I used it the way I wish? Not at all. Could I have? Absolutely.
So
the goal is to use all your points.
Right.
In your package, how many times can you leave? So if they give you
as many points as I have,
it's just whatever points allowed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's give me. I want amount of trips. So they give you at September when they give you everything.
It don't work like that, Jerry. So if he has 400,000 points in his RCI account, and let's say he wants to go spring break, this upcoming spring break right now, he wants to go to Dubai for a week, right? And Dubai, that trip for a week, if it costs him 400,000, then that's it. He got 1 week.
That's what I want.
Correct.
So I'm asking.
But if Miami's 50,000, then he could do that 8 times.
8 times. Correct.
That's what I'm asking. So with the numbers that he get every year, what is the average amount that he can leave? If he does everything right,
as long as I have points.
No average.
So you're saying, no. What I'm saying is, if you wanted to go to Miami and it costs 165,000, you only traveling one time?
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
Right.
So you are paying monthly for one trip?
Maybe.
If that one trip will be 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks long. It won't be like a weekend getaway.
Texas here, that costs him 60,000. He can go to New Hampshire here, that costs him 80,000. Then he can go to Florida here, that costs him 100. You know what I'm saying? Or 50,000. And then he got 3 trips. You see what I'm saying? So, or Dubai, that's 1 trip. Or Miami spring break, it might cost, is that 1 trip. Yeah. So it all varies. It depends on how he picks and chooses.
All point system, yeah.
He's just got to stay within his points.
Mm-hmm.
So
and also, like, for example, last time I went to VA, I booked probably 45 minutes away from where Lance resides. That was a fraction of the points. I had the whole week pretty much for the most part. For that weekend. I was up to what, 8 to 10 guests were allowed. So I had a large 3-bedroom suite. So I was able to, convenience Lance and his family as well, if we chose to stay there. So it's beneficial, especially if you want to do a large family getaway. more points for a 3-bedroom or a presidential suite opposed to a studio. The difference, not much.
Let me ask you something. So you say I get to stay at the Wyndham, hotels or Wyndham
Club Wyndham.
Estates, right? Club Wyndham, right?
Yeah.
What accommodations come with that, right? So you go there. Do you get breakfast? Do you get a dinner? Do you get
It's all
excursions?
site specific. So some sites have more
Amenities.
they have more things to do, things of that nature, but they have continental breakfast where they have the little waffle machine with the puree, you pour it in, they have the little bowls of cereal, and then they have the restaurants inside there that you can dine at a discounted rate because you're a club member, opposed to the
So
next
this is
external.
yeah, absolutely. So you get to at least get to eat at a discount. You get the continental breakfast.
Correct.
As long as the availability is there.
Yeah.
How often do you run into availability issues?
I haven't ran into any.
And is that because you don't travel much, or because when you do
Well,
travel,
I prefer to travel when no one else is. Like most people go when it's hot out. Why am I going to travel to another hot destination? I'd rather, if it's cold outside, I'd rather go somewhere warm. So I usually try to travel between like this time of year, give
so
or
you
take
go to
March.
you go to Alaska in the middle of winter. I got you.
So
No. I won't go to Alaska.
No,
I'll
I'm
go to
just saying
Alaska
like
in the
that. A
middle
metaphor.
of the
It's a
summer.
metaphor.
If it's 100 degrees outside, you better believe I'm gonna go
No, but that's
to
when nobody's
Greenland or
gonna travel
somewhere.
to Alaska. So I'm
do
giving you a metaphor.
have you ever spoken to somebody that had some issues with availability?
No, I have not.
So nobody you spoke to have that conversation of
No,
there's never been some. Okay.
So Des, I want to get into the nitty gritty, right? Do you look at this as an asset, or do you in an investment, or do you look at this as a burden?
Okay, now this is where we get honest, and
I'm using
you know,
burden for a reason.
I'm gonna say I like what Lance did there in the beginning, but I don't like what he did at the end.
at the end, right? He
Is
tried to.
this an asset or a liability for you and your family?
Is
I don't know.
it
All right,
a
so
burden?
He went
It all
left with the
depends on
ship.
how you're looking at your ROI. In hindsight, are you looking for a feel good? This is a great intimate opportunity to spend time with your family, away all the amenities, all the bells and whistles, etc. Or you can use it for financial gain as well. Case in point, I could rent it out. I can utilize RCI, whoever's trying to book a room, and sell that to them, and then they'll sell it, based on that points. I can make, the last time they were offering me, so they told me to pay, I believe it was for something. I got to look at the pricing on the letter that they sent me to open up the week, but then they had somebody, it was like an event, a company that needed rooms, and being that I had enough points to accommodate them, they were going to pay me 1,600. So that's a good increase. That's a good ROI right there. I could easily take that 1,600 and just pay off, towards my principal, opposed to the, actually gaining financial gain. I could use it for whatever. I could have,
You could
taken
have
use
done
that to
out of
take
my
to the
pocket.
yeah, absolutely. So you can utilize it financially. Some people actually do it to pay their timeshare off, and then they utilize the points long term. That's something that they advised me to do, because I was looking to sell it. The reason why I was looking to sell it, because I was spending more annually than I would if I was to just do a regular vacation. So if you're
I
not
love
using it, it's not a
Now we
really
getting
good.
into it. Now we getting into it. Okay. So you gave me some pros, right? How it could be an asset, right? But for the most,
he didn't give you the answer though.
I'm
No,
gonna give it.
if-
Right.
I'm looking for an
I
answer,
have
bro.
not jumped off it yet. Absolutely. But give me the liability part
No.
of.
Answer the question. Do you believe it's an asset or a liability, bro? Answer that first.
if I used it with the intention to use it the way I should have, it would
You
have
right
been
now.
a good
You right
like
now.
it would have been a good asset. Right now, present day, it's becoming a liability because I haven't used it. So I spent more money annually than I should have, opposed to just saying, hey, let me just take $2,000 out and go on a weekend getaway with the family.
What's going on, world? It's the one and only Lance, 1/3 of H.G.R.G. You ain't got your membership yet? Go get you that. We hold your hand from A to Z. Our team is your team. I'm talking realtors. I'm talking financing. I'm talking property management. I'm talking about walkthroughs for your property, giving you the breakdowns, what the rents look like, how much it's going to cost, fixes, everything. We give you everything. Why don't you have yours? Go check us out right now at HGRG.club and get your membership now.
But when you say an asset, it has to make money every month, or it has to make you money. Not
Well, I
1,600
can-
doesn't make you money. 1,600 helps you pay a bill off. Asset is supposed
Correct.
to give you money continuously.
There's no residual income. There's no opportunity for that there.
Not even that, right? So yeah. So at the end of the day, so if it costs you more at the end of the year than what it made you, it's a liability.
It's a liability.
Yeah,
So-
it leans towards the liability. But again, it all depends on how are you looking at the ROI. Are you looking at for an investment, like a financial gain? Not at all. You're probably
I'm like
You
I'm biting my teeth every time you say the word the phrase ROI.
well. It depends on how you're looking at your return on your investment. Again,
Based
it could
off of your
be a
conversation,
personal.
there is financially, I have it written down here. I'm gonna say it to you, but financially, there is no return on your investment.
Please say it again, DT.
Financially, there is no return on your investment.
So explain yourself.
So whatever dollar amount you're putting in, doesn't matter what it is, but whatever it is, you're not seeing more than you're putting out.
Ever.
Right? You're not throwing $100 in a kitty.
No, not at all.
At 150. You know what I'm saying?
You're probably making 12% overall in the full 10 years.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
And I mean,
depending on,
first of all, if you're lucky. Second of all, if you never travel.
yeah, if you never travel, you can make some.
That part.
So first of all, you got to be lucky. Second of all, you never travel. The worst part about it is the reason why you bought it is because you thought you were going to travel. So
Correct.
It's an oxymoron right there, but we ain't gonna go there. But listen, the family value portion of it, right? What it does for your family and your leisure, like, you know, your personal time, you know, your vacationing, and where you can send your wife, your daughter, your kids, your son, where you can go. That there's no value to that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no that's priceless, right? Even if you go, doesn't matter where you go. If you live in New York City, you go to Long Island, and you have three hours of peace, that's priceless. So we can't put a dollar amount on that. I mean, I think we all agree on that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you say ROI, that would probably be the only way that I can understand why you
that's
use that
the only way I would. And me and you on the same page. There you go.
Cool.
Financial ROI negative. You're in the hole. Forget about
family
it.
ROI, you're good.
You're good. It's beautiful. Yeah, because they also. So for example, say you're out and about and you're traveling and you're in Club Wyndham. So the neighboring, you know, concessions and restaurants and things of that nature also honor Club Wyndham rewards, and they'll give you discounted rates on say if you go to like in San Antonio, Papa Dough was one of the restaurants that they had on as a list. Like as long as you show your band, you know, they'll apply the discount. So to tourists and travelers, those restaurants and concessions will honor their discount because, you know, they want to build business and build tourism as well. So they all, you know,
and when
want
we
to be team players and play great in the sandbox.
When we say discount, does the discount vary depending on the color of your band?
Yes and no, depending on the restaurant. So a restaurant could just say, hey, I'm only going to give 10% discount and that's it. If it's internal on site on the resort, yes, they could give you up to 30%.
Okay.
Gotcha. So, and I know we only got a few more minutes with you. Would you, two things. Do you if you can go back, would you make the same purchase?
Hold on, before you go there.
Absolutely not.
Oh, hold on, before you go there.
That's
You just killed everything. So, and, but I just wanted to highlight I know we talked about a lot of the pros. You know, in your opinion, what the pros were. We didn't really specify what the cons were.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was getting into it.
Right,
Jerry,
and we don't have to go. We
answer
don't
that
have to go
question
deep
first.
into
All
it. We
right,
just maybe can
so
mention.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
If you don't use your points, you get to roll them over, and if you don't extend them, you lose them. So you're losing all the money and the monthly payments that you pretty much, sold your soul for.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
It makes
the
it
greatest
more of a
con.
burden.
That's the
Because
greatest.
it
Correct.
stresses you out,
Yeah,
like,
it's just
listen,
like
we need to
you're
go
just throwing
somewhere.
money away at that point.
Right. So we got that. Jerry, you have any?
hell yeah. So
I know you got. I just don't want to ask like closing questions.
no. So and you asking closing questions, not Jerry.
I know,
Jerry's
that's what
asking
I'm saying.
questions.
That's what I'm saying.
My question would be, so if you transfer to your loved ones, now they have a burden of paying that monthly, correct?
The maintenance fee, as long as I pay it off,
Once you pay
they
it
won't
off,
have to accumulate any type of financials on that end. Because
So-
I paid off. I own the timeshare now. It's mine. So all I have to do is pay. It's like a condo, so to say. So if you really want to look at it, it's like a lease.
It's something leased for a condo. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not, but it is.
But it's not.
But
It's
not,
not.
but it is.
It's not. Analogy
But it is.
wise, I think that's the closest way we could paint it. But
I think a better way is literally like a hotel, like a hotel stay, like a rental car, right? You have the rights to a full-size sedan for 3 weeks out of the year, or 4 weeks, or 1 week, depending on your location, and that's it. That's what you own. You own the rights to a rental car. Depending on your location is going to determine the time, right? So if you want to go to Miami, it'll be for a week and a half, 2 weeks. If you want to go to
in a sense,
New York, it'll be for a month.
In a sense, because
You know what I'm
after
saying?
the 10 years, you own that rental car now.
No, you don't.
So it's like a long-term lease.
No. You don't own the rental car.
No, you
only
you
own
that
those 2 weeks.
that share, that fraction of that. Yes, correct.
Yeah, we're not referring to the money portion of it no more. At the end of the day, it's over. Like you committed to that, right? So even while you committed to that, even while you're paying to that, it's okay. You're paying for this time frame, your timeshare, right? So while you're paying for it, you only own, whatever your points allow you to own.
For that time.
When you own it, you still only own what your points allow you to own.
Correct.
What happens the day you stop paying for it?
That's where I'm gonna. Oh my man, past that. When you pay it off, your maintenance fee. If you stop paying your maintenance fee, the cheap $100, what happens?
It has to be the same outcome.
They'll penalize you. They'll penalize you.
What do you mean by penalize?
As far as like if you don't pay the maintenance fee after it's paid off, they'll penalize you. I don't know what the percentage is. I will have to look at the legal.
I'm sure you lose it.
Hold on, yeah, I want to be clear. So whether it's maintenance fee, whether it's your monthly fee now, if you stop paying that, I know if I stop paying on my properties, they will foreclose on that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Time.
Absolutely.
What's that work? Does the same thing work for you? Do they take your time?
Same exact. No, you lose it.
Is that
you before closing, you still owe whatever money that you owe.
Is that the phrase? Is that the term they use, or do we not know? Do they actually foreclose on your?
I'm uncertain. If I don't know, I won't. I can't speak to it.
I respect
I
it,
don't know the terminology, but yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right term, but
they will
I get the gist.
Absolutely. They'll repo it, so to say.
That's real. That's
real. Better lack of words. Yeah.
Second question to that one. Second question to that one would be, why haven't you resell it?
So the market is terrible right now. So they have
even at your low cost.
Yeah.
So is your low cost really low cost?
Yeah.
To who?
I guess to the market, right? So now,
no, I guess to nobody if they're not willing to buy it.
They're not willing to buy.
Really? So
it's a timeshare at the end of the day. It's probably the hardest thing to sell.
For sure, I agree.
I really want to understand this. So when you say market, who are you marketing this to?
Those interested, that population that is interested into purchasing a timeshare.
Do they offer?
Retirees.
Do they offer within your timeshare community the same people that call you and say, "Hey, do you want to rebuy these points or whatever? Hey, we got this new location here." Do they say, "Hey, we have these people who are interested in buying timeshares. Are you interested in selling yours?"
No, unless you put yourself on a list and say, "Hey, I'm looking to sell." They won't. No, they won't do that.
So why didn't you do that?
That's real.
Put yourself on a list.
Because I would have, I'll be upside down.
So what? Yeah,
5 years in,
please.
I'm halfway through. So if they sell it, they'll probably sell it. So for example, if they sell it and you say, "Hey, I want to buy it for 10 grand," they'll sell it back to me minus whatever fees they deduct for, whatever it is, and they'll say, "Hey, say it's 35%. They say, "Hey, here's your $6,500. I'll still be in the hole to pay it off." So I'd rather not do that.
My question would be, why would you not give them a price that you're comfortable with?
You can't sell it at that price.
No, because no matter what,
there's other people that's selling it for a lot less.
He would have to pay to sell it. People are selling timeshares and losing $10,000-$20,000 and paying it just to get rid of it.
Oh, yeah, we know. That's why I'm asking him.
No, that's
you won't be able to sell it. So you got 5 years left.
Like, right? I could sell it, but I'll be in the hole. I don't want to be in the hole. I'd rather pay it off and then sell it.
But that's what I'm saying. So you got 5 years left of this.
Correct.
And even when you so here's the thing, because you're gonna you're upside down. Here's the truth. After 5 years, even when you're ready to sell it, you'll still be upside down.
Oh, absolutely. That's just common sense.
No matter
the overall, with interest and all, the overall, you're
right. So it's a hole that you can never get out of unless you're willing to take a hit. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
The only way.
The reality is, it looks like you're making money up front, but historically, you lost more than you ever made off that. So it's definitely a terrible investment.
That's the picture they paint you. In reality, though, you're in, not you, but people that purchase or invest in timeshares that don't utilize it like they initially thought they would when they invested in it. They're in a terrible position until it's paid off.
Even then, it's just a bad position.
No. Let me explain why. Because once it's paid off and you don't travel,
then you sell the points.
Now you can sell your points and really make money because you don't have that higher monthly payout.
Which is why I mentioned earlier, long-term ROI financially, it'll be maybe 20 years from now.
Right.
And that's not even getting close to breaking even.
That's probably when you're close. Exactly. That's probably when you're closer to breaking even.
Right. Exactly.
So you're
I would even
on a piece of property, or you're making payments on a thing for 10 years. And then after you make payments on this thing for 10 years, it may take you 10 to 15 years to break even.
Yeah.
Correct.
Why are we not buying rental property?
If I could do it all over again, I would have invested in a home or a beach home or something if I wanted to do a vacation getaway.
I don't know what your monthly number is. It's not my business. But if you took your monthly number and what you're investing in that, not just you, but people in general, in timeshares, and you invested that in a down payment for a rental property, it would become an asset day one.
Day fucking one.
Yeah, asset day one. Never. And if it became a liability, it's because you messed up. You did something terrible. Wrong. You didn't have the right team. You bought wrong. But even still, even if it became a liability, whatever you initially invested, you can get it back.
Yep.
That's a fact.
And that's why we asked the question. I want to know, at least can my guy get it back? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? On the backside.
We're talking 40 years for him to be at fucking zero, bro. We're talking 30 to 40 years to even be at zero.
25 to 30.
If you have
maybe a little less.
It sounded great before.
If you have like a super desirable location, you said the Wyndham is what you have?
Yeah, Club Wyndham.
So there's different clubs, right? Some of them are higher valued than others, and some are lower valued. So, you know, I'm sure the average is probably somewhere in that 15 to 25 year, and somewhere in between there is like the real number to break even. And like I said this on our live the other day, most people, and I don't know this to be a fact, in my opinion, that invest in timeshares have no idea what they're investing in when they initially invest in it.
I'm guilty.
And they're stuck. and they're stuck forever. So when the new guy like me, God forbid, if I say God forbid, because I mean God forbid, if I go tomorrow and I invest in a timeshare, and to Dennis's point, 5 years later, when he's frequenting these places and he's rubbing elbows with these people who are retired, you know, in these situations, and they're like, yeah. If you really ask them, do you regret? I'm sure more than half
would say yes.
Absolutely. The percentage of regret is 85%.
And I think that's light.
That's light.
So you know
why? Because they target. I feel like those people target, you know, the up and comings, the first vacation, the all inclusive resorts. You know,
he was high off his honeymoon.
Right, he's high off his honeymoon. I don't know what your financial statement. Listen, I ain't gonna tell you mine. My honeymoon was, it was amazing because it was mine. But if I tell that story now, I'm like, wow. You should probably do it for yourself, kid. But, you know, the all-inclusive thing, you know, where you can barely afford the flights, you can, you know, the hotel with all the food. Those people have a certain budget. They come from a certain place, you know, respectfully, though, you know what I mean? Because everybody has beginnings and wherever they're at with it. And those are where those people, those timeshares are targeted. You know, you're not going to go to the W. You're not going to go to 5. You're not going to go to certain hotels in certain places. And you'll never hear timeshare in that building, because those people are, you know, they for in the hotel world or in the travel world or in
ultra luxury hotels.
They're woke. Yeah. They're woke to that, and they know timeshare. Get the fuck out of here! Like, who does that? You know what I mean? So, I'm mad that like our people, you know, because, you know, we go out and travel. We get a whole all-inclusive. We got 2 kids, wife, you know, 4 people. I can go out of town, come back. Me and Lance were talking about this and Jerry on the live the other day. For $4,000, you can go on a 4 or 5 day vacation. Where? Sign me up. Oh, yeah, this all-inclusive on from Tuesday to Saturday.
to Saturday.
Tuesday to Saturday.
And that's where they're going to get you at. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So listen, I know you got to get out of here, right? So I want to ask a couple more questions. Would you recommend a timeshare to anybody at this point?
Depending on their circumstances.
Depending on the circumstances. Whatever your answer.
If they can do it, yeah. If they can't, don't even think about it.
What circumstances would cause for them to do that?
Work-life balance. If they have a good work-life balance and they're flexible and they can travel and utilize those points, it's a good investment in that end, because you're purchasing something and you know you have variety and you know it's good service, you know they got amenities, discounts, so you know all of that combined saves you a little bit on that travel. But ultimately, if you're not and you're not going to plan on selling points and things of that nature, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
My issue with when you make that statement of traveling, when DT travels, when Jerry travels, when Lance travels, what Lance does, so Lance conversation traveling is with his kid. His kid is in a D1 league, and he travels because of her for soccer. DT is traveling. He's not traveling to Texas. When he travels, he goes to Costa Rica.
I just came from Texas.
You know what I mean? He's traveling. He's traveling to Costa Rica. He's traveling to
Exactly.
Dubai.
Yeah.
So at this moment of time, 2024, nobody's trying to travel to next door. Everybody's trying to go to DR. Everybody's trying to get out of the states. So when I said that to say this. Knowing 2024, would you still buy that package?
No,
Question.
no, not at all.
Okay.
I wouldn't even purchase timeshare today.
Phew, talk
Period.
that shit.
Period. So, and that's, I guess that led to my other question, right? Do you regret buying that timeshare? If
I
you
don't
didn't
regret.
know-
I don't regret the experience, but I do regret the financial pain.
Wait. Explain. Why you don't regret the experience?
Because it's actually fun, like the resorts and all that, the hospitality, everything it's a full package. They really, you get your bang for your buck as long as you're using it. But if you're not using it, you're losing money. 12 months in a year opposed to say 165,000 points gets me say 2.5 weeks of
If I
actually
had an
traveling multiple
hour,
locations. It doesn't really add up.
if I had an hour with you, I promise you this conversation would change.
Yeah,
An hour. An hour.
We just had an hour, but okay.
No. But I'm saying,
I'm joking.
That question
Yeah.
just.
I'm joking, man. I'm
to
joking.
deep dive, because listen,
Because us, we're gonna tell you, it's never a great opportunity to go buy a timeshare.
yeah,
That's us three. We
the-
never buying a timeshare.
I feel like it's just better maybe to come out of pocket and be like, listen, I go on vacation when I can. I come out of pocket for it, and that is more beneficial than coming out of pocket. And watching.
It all ends up to one conversation though. Not ends up to one conversation. I'm sorry. You still have to pay a flight.
No, listen.
Absolutely.
This is what you're missing, though. This is what you're missing in the timeshare, in the sales pitch of the timeshare, right? They are pitching to people who they don't have the luxury of saying, I want to go on a vacation and I got $4,000 or $5,000 to spend on a hotel. Right now, just come up with it plus flight.
Talking about financing your vacations.
Yeah. So what you're doing with a timeshare is you're financing it monthly, and then you have the availability to do it what they sell you whenever you want and wherever you want.
Correct.
Inside the states, though.
That's because of the package, because they sell other packages that you can do it wherever too. So, depending on what that looks like. But that's the shit that blinds people, that they don't hear the stuff that they're saying, but they're not listening to. All they hear is wherever, whenever. And then it's affordable. Sign me up. Nothing else matters.
Listen, don't ever come up to me if you see me in a hotel and you sell timeshare. Don't you fucking do it.
and I'm happy that you came on this podcast, DT, Dennis, because 3 years ago we fought about assets and liability,
right?
And you being a little bit more seasoned now, and you turn around and go, it's not an asset, it's a liability. Mm-hmm. It goes a long way. It goes a long way.
So 3 years ago, I used a lot of points and I was happy with it. Year 3 and 4, I didn't really use it at all. And I'm like, shit, I just wasted all this money and I could have just put a down payment on the house.
On somewhere else. Yep. Absolutely.
And that's it. And it takes, I'm telling you, it takes for somebody to come up here and admit, because you have to dig deep as far as, going into your situation and being honest about it, what you've done. And letting the people know, right? Because this for viewers here, listen, somebody might be seeing this title that we put up and see timeshares and go, oh, I'm trying to learn more about them. And then they see you and they go, oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
This ain't it.
And I feel like everyone knows someone that invested in a timeshare. Whether it's a good, bad, or ugly experience with the person who invested, I feel like everyone knows someone that has a timeshare. And I feel like timeshares are intriguing for everyone, especially people who don't really know nothing about them, but there's a lot of bad things that are said, so they don't want to cross that bridge or ask those questions because they don't want to sound, like dumb or whatnot, respectfully. So I think that topic, and I don't really hear a lot about it online. I don't really hear it. I hear it on the radio. I hear people on the radio. Hey, are you in a timeshare? Let me get you out of it. I can help you. And like emergency assistance.
Yeah, you hear
I
the
hear that on the
negativity
radio.
more than you hear anything
Right.
positive.
I don't hear nothing
Absolutely.
positive. I've never ever in my life met somebody who owned a timeshare who I had a conversation with who tried to intrigue me or try to sell me on buying a timeshare. I've never.
Well, if you guys want, you can get the opinion of my wife on her thoughts of the timeshare situation as well. You might get a whole.
I mean, I don't know how much time you got, but I mean,
I'm all for it.
But just to jump on that, timeshares was our culture's flex back in the day.
Facts.
Right. So now, back in the day, it was I got a timeshare, bro. I'm up. It was a little flex, sort of say. Now, when you were woke, you were idiot.
Well,
absolutely. I will.
Not you per se. I'm saying in general.
And also, there's people that don't feel like they're idiots, right? Because there's people that take advantage of the points.
Here's why I can know that, because I wasn't acclimated to what it actually is.
Yeah.
Had I been, I would have never done it.
Hey, Jerry and I have done the same thing in businesses. We've done the same thing. We've had that same coming to Jesus moment where we're like, this, Nick. You know what I'm saying? We've done it. We've been there, but and obviously always go back to our bread and butter, which is real estate, which is something that's done right by us and something that we know works and we've seen it work. You want to
live and you learn. It's trial and tribulation at the end of the day.
The part of me that says I wish I had another hour is because with the introduction, and we're not going to get into it because I know this is leading to a whole nother time frame, but with the introduction of Airbnb and VRBOs, are timeshares as valuable?
Not at all.
No way.
Not at all.
Changed the whole game. Changed the whole game.
It changed everything. Absolutely.
Changed the whole game.
Let me ask you this. Are you willing to come back for a part 2 with Airbnb versus timeshares and to have you on here for your informative side with timeshares?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know much about Airbnbs.
We'll talk about the Airbnbs. And we'll talk about the timeshare. And you can also bring your wife up, and you can have that conversation together.
Yes.
All right, great.
So,
but in short, ready?
I appreciate.
This is Dana.
How you doing, Dana?
That's DT.
How you doing?
So I'm gonna keep it short and quick. Do you regret purchasing a timeshare?
With everything we know now, yes.
I'm gonna tell everybody right now.
Just remember, we had this conversation 3 years ago.
Jerry can't get off. Listen,
just remember that.
H.G.R.G people, the audience right now watching this, you got to understand that we do not set this stuff up. Yes. That doesn't even know what we're going to talk about until 10 minutes, into the conversation, right?
That's no. No, it was like 45 seconds.
I just wanted to come on.
Actually, we waited for Jerry to jump on, and it was like moments before you press record.
100%.
So I was gonna get blindsided.
100%.
I wanted it to come from here, right? I didn't want to think too much. I just wanted him to be like, "Hey, this is my real experience."
I felt so bad for Dennis that we wore matching hats.
Yeah.
Listen,
we're not gonna make me look like a scumbag here on my show.
I keep telling you, we're trying to replace you 4 times already.
You don't listen to
H.G.R.G. Lance. This was my interview.
Got a good interview.
I'm tell you, man.
Got a great interview.
And he had taken himself very well. I don't know about you now, Lance. I really don't know.
Hey, we'll send the contract.
He did articulate himself well here today. But I would tell you this, H.G.R.G, you guys listen. You got to listen to people like this. They are giving it to you raw. They own a timeshare. We're not just talking to talk. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on here, come talk about timeshare. The reason why they are here is because they own it. They 5 years in. They've experienced the good, the bad. He said, first couple of years, I was fine when I was traveling. As soon as I stopped traveling, wait a minute, now I feel it. You see what I'm saying? So these people here are experienced. We're not experienced. So we got to bring people on the show that are experienced. And that's why H.G.R.G is the best platform, man. You know, we give it to you raw. We give you both sides, all the pros and cons. And we're going to do a part 2 with you guys, 100%.
Absolutely. I'm all for it.
Thank you,
for
it.
But next time is going to be featuring Lance.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. You bet your bottom dollar on that. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Listen, guys, listen from
before you
Yeah.
I want to say last thing, and I think this is super important. You know, the gentleman and the young lady who invested in the timeshare, you know, come up here, you know, share their experiences, their truth, whether it be good or bad, in their mouth, their words, it's not the best, and they do kind of regret it. Hindsight being 2020, right? But obviously, it is what it is.
But
Monday thing that I take from that is that even though it's not the best thing that they're proud of on their investment side of things because of what life turned into, they stuck to it. They stuck to it, and they're willing to go that long term, and they have that long term vision, right? And in real estate, in what we teach, what we mentor, what we preach, you know, if you have that get in microwave success, and you think that I bought into this to be that, you know, in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 1 year, you know, look at someone on the screen who has invested in something, enjoyed it for a while, and then after a while, it didn't really become as enjoyable. It's been a financial burden, but yet is committed to it and understands that in the long term, eventually I'll break even.
Correct.
Super huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pay attention, man.
As long as I'm committed to selling the way I need to sell to achieve
and then
an even correct, which is 15 plus years. Correct.
And you do it this way.
Absolutely. Listen, Dennis, once again, thank you, man. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure. It was an honor.
We appreciate you, brother.
That's fine.
And we'll see you on part 2. Listen, guys, from our mouths to your ears, it's H.G.R.G. We always going to give it to you, and we'll see you on the next one.
Please subscribe.
That's right. H.G.R.G.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
What they say? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They